Real estate is one of the safest and most lucrative investment vehicles there is. Metro Detroit is one of the best places to invest in real estate in the entire country. So I guess it's a good thing you're watching this video. Let's get into it. How you doing, guys? Derek here from M1 Realty. I'm the broker owner, founder of the company. Started in 2014, just me and a laptop on the third floor of an office building here in Ferndale, Michigan. Today, we've got an office space right downtown, 8:45 in Woodward, and I've got an all-star team of agents. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, whatever you need, we've got you covered. And while we're on the subject of investing, let's talk about it. So, unless you've been living on a different planet for the past couple years, you know that real estate values have shot through the roof nationwide. Detroit is no stranger to that as well. It's happening here as well. Difference is we started from a much lower price point. Combine that with the fact that Metro Detroit is one of 3 major metropolitan areas in the United States where it's actually cheaper to own a home than it is to rent. And that's the recipe to make potentially a lot of money as a landlord. But that being said, there's the right way to go about it and the wrong way to go about it. We're gonna talk about both of them right now, so take some notes. All right, so let me start off with one thing. There's definitely opportunity to flip homes in this market. It's not a problem at all. That being said, I don't necessarily know that if I was, not local to the area, I'm not sure I'd get into flipping homes here, and I'm going to tell you why. Mainly unless you're here to do the work yourself and have the ability to do that rehab work yourself, or at least a lot of it, it's going to be cost prohibitive to actually hire someone to come in and do the rehab work for you. One thing that we've never quite recovered from was when the Great Recession hit back in 08, 09, a ton of contractors and skilled laborers and tradespeople that I was even relying on at that point in time for investment, for investors, they all rolled. They got out of town, they moved to other cities, and they've not moved back. So we definitely are at a bit of a deficit for, skilled tradespeople in the area. So as a result, the people that are left that I'd actually recommend to people to do rehab on homes are either booked out way far out in advance. We're talking like 6, 7, 8 months, or they're charging so much money that's going to eat up all of your equity in the house. So unless you can do it or you know somebody who can do the work for you that you trust, it's going to be, not that you can't make money on it, it's just not as much as I'd like to see. And let's put it this way, the investor clients that I work with that are making a killing on flips are the ones that are basically doing most of the work themselves. And while I've spent the last 20 years, identifying tradespeople that I can refer out to my clients, like I've got an awesome HVAC guy, my electrician's phenomenal, I've got good plumbers, I've got a great handyman. Like, that being said, I'm not a general contractor, and I don't know that I'd feel comfortable trying to oversee a project like that. In fact, I know that I wouldn't feel comfortable overseeing a project like that simply because I don't have that experience, and I don't want to put my clients in a position where they're expecting one thing and they get something different. That's not what I'm looking to do. I like to when you work with me, I want you to know and feel confident that I'm going to set you up for success. And that's not an area where I feel confident that I can do that. So as of right now, that's not a service that I provide. I don't foresee myself providing that in the future, but things change, you never know. But that being said, I do work with a lot of investor clients, and I'm making people a ton of money. And a lot of the clients that I work with are not local to this area. I work with people right now that are all over the United States, in other countries, and we're mostly having success on the rental side. So that's going to be the main focus of this video. How can you purchase rental properties in Metro Detroit and then feel confident that you're going to cash flow on them, that it's going to be a smart investment that's going to make money for you for years and years and years. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to share 3 cities that I really strongly believe are kind of underpriced right now for the market, and I think present the best opportunity as a real estate investor to maximize the bang for your buck. And the best part is, if you're watching this and you're not located in Metro Detroit, there's a very good chance that while I think that prices are maybe a little bit inflated. They're probably a whole lot lower than what you have in your local market. So that's going to be a good thing. The even better thing is I bet you that the rental rate is pretty comparable to where you're living right now. So what that means is you can pick up a house for a whole lot cheaper than you could in your local market and still rent it out for the same price that you'd be renting out for in your local market. So let's get one thing out of the way real quick. Everybody wants a multifamily. I get it. So do I. If I could find a quad that was priced anywhere even remotely reasonable, I'd be buying it myself. They don't exist right now. At least they exist, they're just not at a price point where I say, hey, that's a good deal, and talk about it on videos like this. I'm specifically telling you multifamilies are probably best avoided right now. Ones that are on the market are few and far between. I think I checked a couple days ago. In Oakland County, there was only like 18 multifamily properties in the entire county, the largest county in the state of Michigan. And I think 2/3 of those were in Pontiac. Not that there's anything wrong with Pontiac. That's where most of my investment properties are located. But it's not going to be the same return as other parts of town. The other area where there are a ton of multifamilies on the market is the city of Detroit, but for a plethora of reasons that I'm not going to get into right now, but I will make a future video about it, I'm not necessarily going to recommend picking up multifamilies in Detroit either. So right now, in the summer of 2023, the type of real estate that presents the best opportunity as an investor for immediate cash flow is essentially going to be just a starter home that's move-in ready. And it doesn't even have to be like perfectly move-in ready. There could be some things that need to be done that we can take care of relatively easily that I do feel confident getting a rental property from 80% of the way there to 100%. That's completely different from buying a flip that's a total gut job project and completely redoing the whole thing. That's way out of my wheelhouse right now. But you can literally pick up for anywhere from 100 to 150,000, and in some areas we can be under 100 even, where you're going to get a nice 2 to 3 bedroom move-in ready home that probably doesn't have quartz countertops and a totally renovated bathroom, may not have a basement, may not have a garage. In my mind, as a longtime landlord and a longtime realtor who works with investors, to me, on rental properties, things like basements and things like garages, they don't add a ton of value to your monthly rent, and it's just 2 more things that can go wrong that you're going to have to spend a lot of money to do repairs. So for perfect example, just today I was looking at, I found a 3-bedroom rental on a slab that looked like it would be a really good opportunity for a client that I'm actually working with from this channel. Hey, Chris. So I found that house for him and did a video walkthrough. That's a house that could, it was for $125,000. You didn't have to do anything to it. Not the prettiest house in town, but it's totally functional, and you can move a tenant right into it tomorrow. Like the day it closed, we could have that, be advertising it right then and there, and get a good paying tenant in there in very short order. So that is the type of property that I'm recommending right now, and things can change, but as of right now, I think that's the best cash flow opportunity, is to find just single family starter home, like 900 to 1,100 square feet. Ideally a 3-bedroom, but a 2-bedroom will cash flow almost as well. And something where the roof's newer, so you're not going to have to worry about replacing a roof anytime soon. Vinyl sided or brick, either way is fine as long as the siding's in good condition. You're not going to have to worry about exterior maintenance. Vinyl windows, just things like that. All the expensive stuff's been done, and then we just have to kind of worry about maybe tightening up the interior a little bit. And on the specific house that I'm talking about, the interior didn't really even need anything at all either. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, it's not going to be in Better Homes and Gardens, but a tenant's not going to walk into it and walk right back out and say absolutely not. It's a nice move-in ready home. So this particular home that I'm talking about was in Oak Park, Michigan, it's a good area that I definitely think that has a lot of upside for renting. That's not one of the 3 cities that I'm going to talk about, but it's definitely a close fourth. you could do a whole lot worse than finding a home like that in Oak Park. It's going to rent right away. It's affordable, and you don't really have to do any rehab costs. To me, that's a winner as far as that goes. And I don't really do a whole lot of property management anymore, but I still do manage a couple homes here and there for international investors that I work with. So I'm managing a couple properties in Hazel Park right now. It's another city that I'm definitely big on as far as having a lot of opportunity for landlords, where the entry price isn't very high, but the rental rates that you get in that city are still, pretty high in relation to what you're going to pay for the home. Again, not one of my top three, but I'd say it's tied with Oak Park for fourth place. Like, you're not going to go wrong in either city. And both of those cities do have the advantage of being adjacent to Ferndale on either side of Ferndale. Ferndale being one of the more popular suburbs in Metro Detroit right now. The average sale price in Ferndale, though, is literally like $100,000 higher than the average sale price in Hazel Park. So now on to the three cities that I'm recommending right now to clients, and all three of them are kind of far apart from each other. They're kind of almost on opposite sides of the metro area. One arguably isn't even in the metro area, but for proximity to Ferndale, Madison Heights is actually really high on my list of cities to invest in, for the reason being that it's pretty similar to Hazel Park. It's like kind of kitty corner to Ferndale, and it's just north of Hazel Park. The home stock is pretty similar. We're talking mostly like ranches. It's going to be bungalows and ranches. Built in the 40s and 50s for the most part, not exclusively, but there's a ton of them. And the Hazel Park's gotten so popular. They've done a lot with a lot of development in that city, and just the fact that as Ferndale got so popular, people would get priced out of Ferndale, they'd move to Hazel Park. They just literally move a mile over, and there you go. So now the price point in Hazel Park is starting to actually be higher than the average price point in Madison Heights. So Madison Heights, to me, is a slightly better buy than Hazel Park in terms of just cap rate, in terms of how much it's going to cost to acquire that property, and then the rent that you can get. You're going to get about the same rent whether it's Madison Heights or Hazel Park, but you're going to pay slightly less for that same house in Madison Heights. The second city on my list is Wyandotte, which is way downriver. It's about as far south as you can go and still be considered part of the Metro Detroit area. But for whatever reason, that city, it's a if you've ever driven through it, it's a very well maintained town. The houses are quite a bit older than a lot of the surrounding area. There's a lot of houses that are over 100 years old there. But that being said, really, nice, pleasant streets. Everybody takes care of their property. But for whatever reason, the average price point of Wyandotte is, to me, a lot less than it should be. There's a nice downtown there. There's all kinds of amenities. You got the Detroit River right there. You got Gross Eel right in the middle of the river. That's kind of just adjacent to Wyandotte. But for whatever reason, home prices are to me a lot less than they should be. So I really like that area as a rental market for that reason. And then the number one city on my list for rental properties, and this one, this is going to cause me extra work because it's a hike to get out there for me, but Ypsilanti, which is actually like a suburb of Ann Arbor. So that's why I'm saying it's maybe not technically considered part of Metro Detroit. There's, it's not like it's that far away. It's for me, from Ferndale, it's like a 45-minute drive. It's not like the end of the earth to get there. But I love Ypsilanti for a lot of reasons. The age and style of house is going to be kind of a mix between Madison Heights and Wyandotte. Actually, there's a lot of houses in Ypsilanti that are over 100 years old, and there's a ton of houses in Ypsilanti that are 40s and 50s ranches. Just frame ranches. They don't have to be brick. And the price point is starting to creep up a little bit, but it's still really affordable, especially when you consider how expensive Ann Arbor is right down the road. And for a landlord, it's a gold mine, and here's why. Right in the town of Ypsilanti is Eastern Michigan University, which isn't a huge college, but it's pretty good size. Less than 5 miles away, you got University of Michigan, which is a huge college. It's absolutely massive. And in the mix of all that, you've got a Willow Run, so there's an auto plant right there. And you've got U of M Hospital, which is just a massive, massive hospital with, you know, thousands of employees, and they employ, you know, travel nurses and they're, you know, tons of resident doctors, things like that. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. You've got 2 universities, all those kids have to live somewhere. You've got a huge auto plant that all those workers have to live somewhere. And then you've got a massive hospital, and all those doctors and nurses have to live somewhere, especially if it's like a travel nurse. They usually go on like 3-month contracts. So that turnover, there's going to be some turnover there, but I don't think you're ever going to have a problem keeping that place full and keeping it cash flowing for you. And I don't want you to think just because I name these, you know, cities here that those are the only opportunities for investment properties, because there's definitely not. I've got, you know, one of my main investor clients that I've worked with for over 10 years and sold dozens of homes to. He primarily only works in or only looks in Macomb County. I haven't even talked about anything in Macomb County right now, and just is killing it on cash flow and rental properties in St. Clair Shores and Roseville. He owns a couple in Ferndale, but you know, both of those he's owned for over 10 years. So you know, there's definitely a lot other opportunity out there. If those 3 cities aren't your cup of tea, we can talk. There's, you know, you're going to make money almost anywhere in this area, just based off, you know, how much, what the acquisition cost is compared to probably where you live if you're not local to Metro Detroit, and how much you can cash flow. And again, Pontiac, where I invest, have most of my investment properties, is another great area to invest in. But, you know, I'm just trying to like highlight 3 areas where I can almost guarantee you're going to walk in and just slay. And that would be, you know, Madison Heights, Wyandotte, Ypsilanti. And you're definitely not going to go wrong Hazel Park or Oak Park either. Well, I hope this helps, guys. It seems like a lot of people are watching this channel because they want to learn more about investing in Detroit. If that's a topic that you're definitely want to know more about, you can always reach out to me, 586-491-5622. Call or text me anytime. You can also reach me at 248-561-6155. Shoot me an email, dwerenka@m1realty.net. I will set you up for success. I've done this hundreds of times with dozens of clients, and you won't be an exception. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. You are the reason why I make these videos. I really appreciate all the feedback I get, all the people that reach out to me off these videos. It's really, I just, you know, that's why I got into real estate in the first place, you know, a long time ago, was to help people and help people achieve their real estate goals, and you know, help build wealth for you know, for themselves and for their kids, and just generational wealth through real estate. And this channel, inadvertently almost at first, is kind of is helping me do that even more with more people. So that's kind of awesome, and this is what I love to do. So hopefully we can connect down the road, and I can do the same thing for you guys. So thank you so much. Talk soon. Have a great one.